Hey ho, that's right. Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And Jacob Weil.
And Monkey.
And welcome to the next recap episode of DuckTales.
Woohoo!
The Forbidden Fountain of the Foreverglades. Yeah. Like stumbling all over myself, guys. I'm sorry. All right,
Or
so
as it could alternately be titled, Tonight on Big Brother.
Oh, God, don't even remind me of Big Brother Rob. Jesus Christ. Oh,
God.
Rob, you remember that alliance I was telling you about?
Yeah.
It lasted like all the way to the end of the game. Like, it was just ridiculous.
Aww.
Just steamroll. Total
I was hoping the
steamroll.
anecdote you were going to bring up would have been about the robot.
Nah. Oh, the robot. Oh, man. Yeah, Big Brother's a crazy show. Anyways, guys, DuckTales, Forbidden Fountain, the Foreverglades. I thought this was a really good kind of like standalone episode. You know what I mean? It wasn't it wasn't a great like big story episode, but I don't think every episode needs to be a story episode. This kind of this calls to mind original DuckTales for me in a good way.
And although, to be fair, it does bring back the Journal of Isabella Finch, so...
That's true. That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. I didn't make time to check if Foreverglades was one of the things that was mentioned at the end of the season premiere. But yeah, maybe it was. Like when they found the book.
Yeah, it's like I don't remember, but I mean, I definitely agree. This is definitely a fun episode to be sure. It's kind of interesting to see technically how Scrooge would be in his prime.
Scrooge is dashing.
He really is. I mean, that's it, though. It's like, this is a great concept for an episode, and I think they do a lot with the concept. And not only Scrooge, but just to kind of jump around a little bit, and then we'll get into kind of the finer points of these two storylines. I love the Ponce de Leon reveal.
I mean, I totally called him being being alive and being the manager, though.
Oh, it was obvious, but that's why I love the reveal, because I like that the reveal is... Go ahead.
Like, I didn't guess it right away, but yeah, I guessed it.
But I thought it was funny that the reveal within the episode was just like, oh my God, I just got it just now. And it's kind of like, the audience is probably one... Right, exactly.
Yeah,
the audience is probably one step ahead.
Yeah, Louis just kind of like nudged out, like, he's Ponce de Leon. It's like they're not even... It's like the fact that Ponce de Leon is still alive isn't really the twist. It's like the real twist is like how the fountain works.
Right. And in that regard, I think it was a good twist, and I think that what we got out of the episode was a lot of fun. And I don't know, guys, I'm totally on board with this Goldie and Scrooge dynamic right now. I
was not expecting Goldie in this one.
I feel like this is the biggest takeaway of the episode. Like, this is like Indian Marion.
Right. Like, we definitely got some... Yeah, Goldie's definitely got some development in this one.
Definitely.
Like, by the end of this one.
Like, I don't think I've ever liked Goldie more than I liked her here, honestly.
She's kind of pulling a gyro on you.
Well, no, that's not true, because I've always liked her.
I mean, I know, it means like you like her more than you did.
I mean, yeah, but like gyro, I actively disliked though, so I feel like pulling a gyro isn't the right description.
Yeah,
it's the closest analogy I could think of.
Pulling a gyro sounds painful.
It does. Like, let's say if they somehow turn around on oh God, I'm sorry, the Paul F. Tompkins character that I don't like.
Gladstone.
Yeah, Gladstone. Let's say in season 4 they give like an epic redemption arc to Gladstone, and I'm like, oh yes, this is great. I love Gladstone now. That would be pulling a gyro.
Fair enough.
So yeah, what kind of arc is Goldie heading towards? Like, where is it leading? Could it lead to sacrifice?
I honestly feel like it's leading towards her and Scrooge just actively getting together, and I think that'd be a nice thing. I don't know. I'm just on the shipping side of things here. I don't know what to tell you guys.
I do want to see more her like her relation, her like dynamic with Louis more too.
Yeah,
yes, that was another good element.
I mean, they did receive a little callback here, but I do want to see more of that because obviously they've built some kind of rapport together, so that would be pretty interesting to see how that goes on.
So that moment that she almost leaves the kids behind, that was, I feel like, a quintessential kind of like where I want to see it go, and I feel like the struggle is just going to be, obviously, Goldie is a very selfish character, a very all for herself type character, and her interacting with the family. Like, I feel like it's ultimately going to build to her maybe being part of the family in season 4. At least that's what I want to see.
Would Duckworth's ghost officiate the wedding? What am I talking about?
God, of course he would. That'd be amazing.
Of course he would.
Okay, we have
like someone in the audience says, "I object," and then he turns into Demon Worth. That's not a thing anymore.
All right. Couple comments from Claude Boy. Claude, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Claude says Rocker Duck felt useless in the episode. I mean, I agree. I like the concept of Rocker Duck, but I feel like Ponce de Leon was easily the more memorable of the two villains in this episode.
I enjoyed the Rocker Duck stuff in here, but yeah, I hear what you're saying.
I think this was basically. Sorry, I'm stuttering here. Basically, a way to keep him like a reasonable age in this show. Like,
sure,
and bring him into the modern days. But I mean, I think that's pretty much the only. I think that's one reason why he was in this episode.
So it's just essentially to kind of like introduce him for further storylines, which is fair.
I mean, he was ironically introduced in the episode where you started to like Gyro, the one of the time travel episodes.
That's true.
And now this is him. Now he's here again. And
which was a Goldie heavy episode. So
yeah.
Where was I going?
Anyways.
All right.
But I'm not going to disagree. I disagree with you there. Ponce de Leon was a more interesting villain in this particular episode.
When Frank and Jeeves got turned into an infant, did anyone else think Groot?
Maybe a little bit. Jeeves is just like a great design and generally kind of reminds me of the henchman from Cats Don't Dance.
It's like
yeah.
It's like does that happen to all assistants or just the Frankenstein ones?
All right. Claude says, I want to see Brigitte McBridge appear in DuckTales. She is a comics character who has a crush on Scrooge. She's a businesswoman and a stalker. You know what? I am going to throw out some casting here. Give me 1 second. Jacob, are you familiar with this character at all?
No.
Okay. Well, it sounds like she's a very Scottish character. So I'm going to pull from Train Spotting. I feel like the most iconic Scotland movie of all time, in my opinion. Let's do Kelly MacDonald. Iconic Scottish actress for this character. Kind of this manic sort of like, I imagine like maybe like a Lola Bunny-esque character, but a little bit more business driven.
Can she be half fair?
I'm liking it. All right. So, the voice of Senior from Kim Possible, voice the hotel manager. That's fun.
Yeah, Nestor Carbonell was Ponce de Leon.
Oh, man. Oh, Nestor Carbonell was Ponce de Leon? How did I not notice that?
I don't know. I didn't notice it. I didn't notice it until I read the credits.
Okay, you know what? I'm sorry, guys. I have to go on like a little tangent about how much I love Nestor Carbonell. I mean... Oh boy, between Bates Motel and Lost, ironically two Carlton Hughes shows, I mean, there's a moment in particular with Lost that just always gets to me. It's one of the few great moments in the finale for me. Not gonna say what it is, but it's just like it's such a great payoff for his character. And then in Bates Motel, he's just a sheer badass all the way through. And he has a lot of great kind of quotable moments in Bates Motel. So yeah, hats off to Nestor Carbonell, man. I love that guy.
Not to mention,
I guess this episode is my official introduction to him. So cool.
And not to mention
formal introduction.
And not to mention his role as senior junior is freaking hilarious.
Rob, have you ever considered watching Lost, Rob? I'd be curious. I'd be curious to know your thoughts. I think you might get into it, honestly.
Okay.
Because it's got a lot of I don't know. I think you'd like it. Anyways, just a thought.
Yeah.
Always
lost in thought.
All right, Glomgold crashes the wedding. Yes, this would be fantastic.
I mean, who knows? Maybe he'd be the one to object.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Or like he'd probably just do it just to troll, though. I mean, he probably wouldn't even care that either ones are getting married. He's like, hey, I'm just doing it because it's tradition at this point.
What was it? It's come to think of it, it would be weird if he got any of the Fountain stuff in this episode because he fakes his age already.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. That's Glomgold! I'm full of contradictions!
All right, let's see.
Yeah, I was surprised. I mean, obviously, could be proven wrong in the future, but I was surprised that Goldie didn't steal any pages from the journal that we know of.
Yeah, she actually gave it back too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like this episode was some very solid character development for her. All right.
Okay,
let's see.
I mean, Huey being the Dewey. That is a wonderful idea. I wish there was more of it.
Christ. How have we not brought that up? That was what did you think of it, Rob?
That is such a wonderful idea. That is great. I wish there was more of it.
I feel ya.
And then Huey becomes the Dewey.
Honestly,
that's what I'm talking about. Huey being the Dewey.
I was kind of disappointed that it wasn't just a growth spurt, because I felt like I feel like this is a show that could get away with hey, look, one of the ducks, one of the brothers hit a growth spurt. I mean, they are teenagers now. I feel like that would be something that would realistically happen if they want to keep continuity.
And I just love how in the whole bickering between Huey and Dewey, Louie's just eh.
Right. I do like that. I agree.
And this episode points out the benefits of scheduling.
Hell yeah, Rob, you and me, we know the benefits of scheduling. You and I are on the same page about that, bro. All right.
I mean, yeah, it's not like we woke up in middle of the early AM to drive to Disney World or something.
Totally not. Nothing like that at all.
Yeah. We don't even live in Florida.
Right. Claude, yeah, I'm aware that Nestor voices Chief Cruz. That's another fun role for him. He pops up all over the place. Of course, he was the mayor of Gotham City in the Dark Knight trilogy also. That might be another place you saw him in, Rob.
I haven't seen the Dark Knight movies.
Oh, interesting. You never cease to amaze me.
I'm sure I've seen clips from The Dark Knight, maybe the beginning of Batman Begins once.
All right, anyways.
Speaking of Disney World, I certainly relate to Scrooge, being annoyed by them young'uns.
Teenagers.
Oh, God. I do think it was a good twist that a lot of the old people we see at the beginning are just college goers who have just kind of been lulled into this lifestyle of being in a retirement home, at a rest spa.
We cater to the young and the young at heart.
That means
what is
old
it?
People.
No, was it what good is? Fuck, what was the line? I wrote it down. Nobody wants to follow a creepy old man into a swamp.
Right.
Well, apparently Webby does.
What was it? Old people eat early in Florida? If only Big Brother had done his research.
That's absolutely a park reference.
I
feel like it's definitely a general Florida reference too, but
definitely a Florida reference. The Everglades.
But I feel like in the
Florida.
parks, I see that a lot. I see like, okay, it's 11 a.m. Let's get our meals.
And
Anyways,
what was it? And yeah, it's sort of like throws off the idea that there might be something weird as to why they're there. Like, yeah, it's just old people in Florida.
sure. Okay, you want to talk about Webby a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, some fun stuff there.
Yeah, so she got some decent development, I thought, in terms of like, she is maybe, I don't know, I feel like what the episode was trying to say with her was, because of her life of, just living in the mansion, living with Scrooge is like one of the few people besides her grandmother that she's interacting with. She is kind of this old at heart kind of person, and I feel like this episode does sort of illustrate that.
Sorry, go ahead.
It illustrates it in a fun but kind of like also illuminating kind of way, I thought.
And I thought that was kind of interesting that like we know like she's like has the most energy out of any of the triplets. Like, but out of between her and the triplets, she definitely has the most energy out of all of them. Mm-hmm. And even she had trouble keeping up with younger Scrooge.
Was it? There's a part where she calls a gator a repellent reptilian rogue. Repellent reptilian rogue should be a Twitter handle.
Like, but that's also like taking up like Scrooge's penchant for alliterations.
Yeah,
it's like she developed more and more Scrooge mannerisms as the episode went on. Like, it's like, no, the cane is part of your mystique. It would like she like even like began walking slowly, like acting like talking like
because of the trip.
Yeah, so yeah. Basically the bad day got to her pretty much.
So Ponce de Leon's demise, huh?
Yeah, like
oh yeah, oh god,
like,
that's some
that was freaky
train shit right there.
It's basically like Mother Gothel all over again.
Yeah,
it's like, correct me if I'm wrong. This is pretty much the first character to pretty much explicitly die on screen in this show.
Claude, if you're in the comments, correct us if we're wrong, but yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't remember offhand.
I mean, I think so.
Like,
I know some.
Like, unless they count robots.
I mean, some have been implied, like, jokingly. Why is it some dark humor here and there? But to actually show like someone decaying on screen, that has to be like at least pretty a brutal death.
Like Black Heron turned out to be alive after all, so.
Right.
Yeah, this is not that.
Yeah, it's like good luck coming back from that, Ponce de Leon.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we didn't actually see him disintegrate or anything, but
no, we actually kind of did. Like we saw like his life being sapped away from him. Like
we didn't confirm like him turning to dust or something.
Actually, no, he kind of did. Like he
did.
That's like he's like like we saw his like nails curl up and everything, and like pretty much when the pool was cleared out, there was nothing left.
Yeah,
he's pretty much all dust, and it was pretty much kind of washed away into the filters.
He got Thanos'd.
Pretty much. So like yeah, like I think that's actually the first pretty much on-screen death in the entire show.
Yeah, I think so.
And it was pretty brutal.
You guys want to see some of Goldie's family? Yeah, that would be interesting to see. I'd be into that.
Considering how they've both aged, I don't think any of Goldie's family would technically still be alive anymore.
Right.
I mean, unless they did it in a flashback.
I would be down for a Goldie flashback.
I mean that'd be the only way for them to show it, most likely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Scrooge's family at least had the excuse of staying in a house that kept their spirits alive.
That's true. That's true.
I'm just picturing like a spoof of that series from last year, Fosse Verdon, only instead it's Scrooge and Goldie. Yeah. McDucko guilt. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, Rob. I'm sorry.
Theater stuff, I suppose.
Oh, okay. My bad.
I mean,
there was like some mini-series last year about Bob Fosse and Gwen Verdon.
All right.
I mean, in
all honesty, Rockwell and Michael Williams.
Although, in all honesty, though, I would like to see more solo adventures with Scrooge and Goldie, though.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think the arc should be Goldie being integrated into the family. I think that's what I want to see here.
Well, Club brings up the villain from the House of Lucky Gander, but he was kind of already like a demon/ghost to begin with.
That's true, and I tend to forget about the House of the Lucky Gander because I just don't like that character.
Like I said, I don't know if I guess it could technically like the first human/animal death. So, either way, I mean, do you think we've run the gambit, or do you think we need to talk more about the triplets? Or
I mean, I think we're good.
Really.
New episode titles for November? No, I have not.
I mean, I haven't seen that yet. Let me pull up the wiki. Hold on. DuckTales wiki. Okay. Season 3. Okay, they have confirmed a couple after these next ones.
All right.
Okay, next week's episode is the hour-long special Let's Get Dangerous.
Of course.
After that is Escape from the Impossibin. Okay, then after that the episodes confirmed for November are The Split Sword of Swanstantine. New Gods
have Matt Vogel.
New Gods on the Block.
I'm guessing that'll involve Storkules.
I'm guessing.
and Zeus. Like, Matt Youngberg, one of the producers on this show, I think he said one of his favorite villain is Zeus. So
now I wish Storkules was in Runaway Railway.
Well,
I
mean, he and Mickey.
I don't want to derail this, but man, I just think that Runaway Railway, just in general, I'm kind of pissed that they're not just building a DuckTales attraction at Disneyland using that tech.
Same.
They could literally use the same layout.
The funny thing is, like, the Mickey from that series and Storkules share the same voice actor.
Yeah,
that's true.
Then after that is one called The First Adventure.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
So maybe that's a Goldie flashback right there.
Who knows?
Possibly.
Please be about Adventure City. Please be about Adventure City.
Then The Fight for Castle McDuck.
Oh.
And
I guess that'll mean Scrooge's parents are back.
No. And How the Santa Stole Christmas.
Huh, interesting.
So,
right.
Remember, Santa's kind of an enemy in this show, at least to Scrooge. Right. So we're good. So we'll find out how that goes.
Right. Okay. I feel like unless there's anything you want us to specifically bring up, I feel like we've pretty much run the gambit here.
Yeah.
Final thoughts, guys.
Yeah, it's a nice one. Like I'd say, out of the 4 we've had lately, I'd put it at like 2 or 3.
Yeah, this one. I mean, of like the return from the hiatus, I would probably put this like probably number 2 behind the Trickening.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you guys. All
right.
Go ahead.
I still think the Trickening is like the best so far from the second part of the season.
Absolutely. Yeah, same. Yeah, I'd say like this is battling for second or third with that Lena one. I've already forgotten what the other one was.
The Phantom and the Sorceress. And there's
that's what I'm saying. Would also be second or third.
The one with Penumbra.
Yeah, put a Moonlander on.
Penumbra, that was it. Yeah.
And that one was very forgettable, honestly. Not gonna lie. All right. Final thoughts on my end. I think that this was a Who could have voiced young Scrooge and Goldie? I don't know. I think
I'd assume David Tennant and Allison.
Yeah, I was
Janney.
gonna say I think that David Tennant does a fine job.
I think he probably just used his actual normal voice for
right.
Problem. I mean, most likely. I mean, I don't think they. I mean, if they like go do younger, I think they already have like a younger, like a kid Scrooge voice already picked out when they had him appear.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so yeah, I just think this episode was a good standalone episode, but it also maybe could hopefully lead to some character development on Goldie's part, and I think my big takeaway on it is that we have a good ship. Like I at this point, I'm really into the Goldie and Scrooge ship. I am, dude. I am. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, I don't. I'm on it. I'm on it too. I ship it like FedEx.
All right, predictions for the next episode. I don't know. I just think it's going to be maybe like just a vaguely backdoor pilot for a potential Darkwing Duck series. That's I don't really. I haven't looked up any descriptions, and I don't want to hear any descriptions because I know Rob's avoiding that. But I am just. Hoping
I'm guessing. I'm guessing villains, and it'll be an hour long.
I mean, it is
40-something minutes plus commercials.
I mean, that is true. I mean, plus, like, I mean, at least there's like, I wouldn't mind it leading to an actual Darkwing Duck series in this style.
I mean, I don't know. I'd be interested in the whole episode being just a straight up in continuity episode of a Darkwing Duck TV show. You know what I mean?
I don't think that's what it is, but it would be interesting.
Hopefully Beakley will have some presence in it.
Oh yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, she's a convert to the Darkwing Duck fandom.
Precisely.
All right, guys.
Wait, all this happened and you didn't tell me?
Oh God.
Wait till she learns that the Darkwing Duck actor turned evil.
All right, I think this will about do it, guys. We've been going on for about a half hour. Thanks so much for joining us. Claude will be on with us for the next podcast, the Darkwing Duck podcast. So we will be covering that next week, most likely next Wednesday. We'll see what happens with that. I'll let you guys know. I will post a notification on Twitter when we get it all figured out. Okay, Claude, I don't want any descriptions, buddy. I don't want any descriptions. Because I know that Monkey's avoiding that. So, steer clear. All right. So, thank you guys so much for joining. And, yeah, woohoo.
Woohoo.
There may be something there that wasn't there before. Teenagers.